Let us begin here, in the quiet. Let the noise of the world fall away for a moment. Let the door close softly behind you. Let the weight you've been carrying just rest. You don't have to hold it up right now. Not in this moment, not in this space. Breathe in slowly and let it out. You are safe here. Before we begin, feel free to let us know what time it is and where you're listening from. There is a tenderness in the heart of God tonight, a tenderness that reaches toward you even now, especially now. If your heart feels heavy, if the burden has been long, if the ache has settled deep into your bones, you are not alone. You are seen, you are known, and you are loved. We are going to spend time together, slow time, sacred time. We are going to walk through the words of Psalm 34, not quickly, not in haste, but as one who walks along a quiet path in the early morning, when the dew is still fresh on the grass and the light is soft and golden. This is not a race. This is not a task to complete. This is simply time. Time with God. Time with your own heart. Time to let the heavy things be held by hands stronger than your own. So settle in. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let the tightness in your chest soften just a little. We are here, and God is here, and that is enough. Let us begin. Psalm 34 was written by a man who knew what it meant to carry heaviness. His name was David, a shepherd boy who became a king. A man after God's own heart, the scriptures say. But before the crown, before the throne, before the songs of victory, there was fear, there was running, there was hiding. When David wrote this psalm, he had just escaped from the presence of a king named Abimelech. He had pretended to be insane, drooling on his beard, scratching at the doors like a madman just to save his own life. This was not a moment of glory. This was a moment of desperation, of humiliation, of deep visceral fear. And yet, out of that place, out of that dark and trembling moment, David wrote these words, "I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth." At all times, not just in the good moments, not just when the sun is shining and the heart is light, but at all times, even when the heart is heavy, even when the ground beneath your feet feels uncertain, even when you don't know how the story will end. David knew something that we often forget. He knew that God is not only present in the victories, He is present in the valleys. He is present in the waiting. He is present in the fear. And so tonight, we enter into this psalm, this ancient song of trust, and we let it speak to the places in us that are weary, the places that are heavy, the places that wonder if God is still near. He is. He has always been, and He will never leave. Let's read the opening verse again, slowly this time. Let the words settle like stones in still water. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. There is something deeply countercultural about this verse, something that defies our natural instinct. When life is hard, when the heart is heavy, our first impulse is not praise. Our first impulse is complaint, question, doubt, and perhaps silence. But David chooses praise, not because everything is fine, not because the danger has passed, but because he has learned something in the wilderness, in the caves, in the long nights of hiding. He has learned that God is trustworthy, even when the circumstances are not. This is not a denial of pain. David does not pretend that everything is easy. Later in this very psalm, he will speak of the broken-hearted, the crushed in spirit, the troubles of the righteous. He knows suffering. He names it. He does not gloss over it. But he also knows this: that praise is not just a response to blessing. Praise is an anchor. Praise is a declaration. Praise is the way we remind our own hearts of what is true, even when everything around us feels uncertain. To bless the Lord at all times is to say, no matter what I see, no matter what I feel, I will remember who you are. I will remember your goodness. I will remember your faithfulness. It is not optimism. It is not pretending. It is trust, worn smooth by long years of learning that God does not abandon his children. Breathe for a moment. Let that sink in. You do not have to manufacture feelings you don't have. You do not have to pretend your heart is light when it is heavy. God is not asking for performance. He is not asking for a mask. But he is inviting you even now to remember, to turn your gaze even for a moment toward the one who holds you, to whisper, even in the heaviness, even in the ache, you are still God, you are still good, you are still here. That is praise, that is worship, that quiet, trembling trust in the dark. David continues, my soul makes its boast in the Lord. Let the humble hear and be glad. There is something beautiful here, something almost paradoxical. David says his soul boasts, but it boasts in the Lord, not in himself, not in his own strength, his own cleverness, his own survival. He boasts in God. And then he says, let the humble hear and be glad. The humble, those who know their own weakness, those who have come to the end of themselves, those who have no strength left to stand on their own. Those are the ones who will hear this and be glad. Because this is a psalm for the weary. This is a psalm for the broken. This is a psalm for those whose hearts feel too heavy to carry. If you are strong tonight, if you feel capable and confident and secure, perhaps this psalm will feel unnecessary. But if you are weak, if you are tired, if you have been carrying more than you can bear, then these words are for you. Let the humble hear and be glad. You are not disqualified by your weakness. You are not too broken to come. You are not too tired to be loved. In fact, it is often in the places of our deepest humility, our deepest need, that we hear God most clearly, because it is there that we stop pretending. It is there that we stop performing. It is there that we simply come, empty-handed, heavy-hearted, and honest, and God meets us there. David invites others into this experience. He says, "Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together." Magnify the Lord with me. This is not a solitary journey. This is not a private faith. David calls to the others who are listening, who are watching, who are perhaps hiding in caves of their own. He says, "Come, let us do this together. Let us remember together. Let us lift his name together. There is power in community. There is strength in shared worship. When your own voice is too weak, too tired, too unsure, the voices of others can carry you. When you cannot see the light, someone else can remind you it is still there. Magnify the Lord with me. To magnify something is not to make it bigger. God is already infinite. He does not need our praise to increase his glory. But to magnify is to bring into focus, to make clear, to see more fully what is already true. When we magnify the Lord together, we are helping each other see. We are pointing each other back to the truth. We are saying, look again. He is still here. He is still good. He is still worthy. And when we do this together, when we exalt his name together, something shifts. The heaviness does not disappear, but it is no longer carried alone. The burden does not vanish, but it is shared. And there is comfort in that. There is grace in that. You are not meant to walk this road alone. You are not meant to carry this weight by yourself. Even now, in this quiet moment, you are part of something larger, a family, a body, a community of the weary and the hopeful, the broken and the beloved. We magnify the Lord together. And then David tells a story. He says, I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. I sought the Lord. This is where it begins. Not with answers, not with solutions, not with clarity, but with seeking. David was afraid. He was hiding. He was pretending to be insane just to save his life. He did not have it all together. He did not have a plan. He did not know what would happen next. But he sought the Lord. He turned his face toward God, even in the chaos. He cried out, even in the fear. He prayed, even when the outcome was uncertain. And God answered, not always immediately, not always in the way we expect, but God answered, and he delivered David from all his fears, not just some of them, not just the small ones, all of them. This does not mean that David never faced danger again. It does not mean that his life became easy. Later, David would face betrayal, loss, grief, war, and heartbreak. The road ahead was still long and hard, but in that moment, in that cave, when David cried out, God came, and the fear that had gripped his heart loosened. The terror that had paralyzed him eased, not because the circumstances changed, but because God was near, and that changed everything. Breathe again. Let that truth settle. If you are afraid tonight, if fear has wrapped itself around your heart like a vine, strangling the life out of you, you can seek the Lord. You can cry out. You can lift your voice, even if it trembles, even if it breaks. God hears. He has always heard, and he will answer. Maybe not in the way you expect, maybe not in the timing you would choose, but he will answer, and he will deliver you from all your fears, not by removing every threat, not by making life easy, but by being near, by being present, by being enough. The fear loses its power when we know we are not alone. David continues, those who look to him are radiant, and their faces shall never be ashamed. Those who look to him. This is the posture of faith, not looking at the problem, not staring at the fear, not fixating on the pain, but looking to him, lifting our eyes, turning our gaze, shifting our focus. It is so easy to become consumed by what is wrong, to rehearse the hurt, to replay the worry, to imagine the worst. Our minds are skilled at spiraling, at catastrophizing, at sinking into the darkness. But David says, look to him, and those who do are radiant, radiant, not because they are strong, not because they have figured it all out, but because they are reflecting the light of the one they are looking at. Moses came down from the mountain with his face shining because he had been in the presence of God. He did not create the light. He simply stood in it, and it changed him. When we look to God, when we fix our eyes on him, when we let his presence fill our vision, something shifts. The heaviness is still there, but it is no longer the only thing we see. The pain is still real, but it is no longer the whole story. We become radiant, not with our own light, but with his, and our faces shall never be ashamed. Shame tells us we are too much, too broken, too far gone, too dirty, too damaged. Shame tells us to hide, to cover, to retreat. But when we look to God, when we come before him honestly, humbly, vulnerably, there is no shame. There is only grace. There is only love. There is only acceptance. You are not too much for him. You are not too broken. You are not beyond reach. Look to him and let the light of his love wash away the shame. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. This poor man. David is speaking of himself, the king, the warrior, the man after God's own heart, and he calls himself poor, not financially, but spiritually, emotionally. In that moment, in that cave, drooling on his beard, scratching at the walls, he was poor. He had nothing. He was nothing. And he cried, not a polite prayer, not a carefully worded request. He cried, he wailed, he poured out his heart in desperation. And the Lord heard him. God does not require eloquence. He does not require composure. He does not require strength. He only requires honesty. This poor man cried, and God heard. If you feel poor tonight, if you feel like you have nothing left to offer, nothing left to give, that is exactly where God meets you. Not in your strength, not in your sufficiency, but in your poverty, in your need, in your cry. Cry out to him. He is listening, and he will save you out of all your troubles. Not by removing them all at once, not by making everything easy, but by being present in the midst of them, by walking with you through them, by holding you when the weight is too much to bear. You are not alone in your troubles. God is near. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. What a beautiful image. The angel of the Lord encamping, setting up camp, pitching a tent, staying, not just passing by, not just visiting for a moment, but dwelling, remaining, guarding, around those who fear him. To fear the Lord is not to be terrified of him. It is to reverence him, to honor him, to recognize his holiness, his majesty, his authority. It is to live with an awareness that he is God, and we are not. And those who live this way, those who walk in humble reverence before the Lord, are surrounded, protected, guarded, not from every hardship, not from every difficulty, but guarded in a deeper sense, guarded in their souls, guarded in their spirits, held secure in the hands of the one who cannot be shaken. The angel of the Lord encamps around you tonight. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but it is true. You are not exposed. You are not vulnerable. You are not alone. There is a presence around you, a protection over you, a watchfulness that never sleeps. Rest in that. Let that truth settle into your weary heart. You are watched over. You are cared for. You are safe. In the deepest, truest sense of the word. I will pause here for a moment. Let the silence hold you. Let the words we have spoken rest in your heart like seeds in the soil. We are only beginning. There is so much more to receive, so much more to explore, so much more grace to encounter. But do not rush. Do not hurry. Let this be slow. Let this be gentle. God is not in a hurry, and neither are you. Breathe deeply. Let your body relax. Let your mind quiet. We will continue when you are ready. David now shifts his tone gently, like a father sitting beside a child at twilight. He offers an invitation, a call, and his words are tender. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. Taste and see. Not just think about, not just consider from a distance, not just intellectually agree, but taste, experience, know through encounter. There is a difference between knowing about honey and tasting honey. You can read descriptions, You can study its properties. You can understand how bees make it, how it is harvested, how it is used. But until you put a drop of it on your tongue, until you feel its sweetness spread across your palate, you do not truly know it. David is saying, come close enough to taste. Come close enough to experience. Come close enough to know for yourself. The goodness of God is not merely a doctrine. It is not merely a theological concept. It is something to be tasted, something to be experienced, something that changes you when you encounter it. And when you do taste, when you do see, you will find that He is good. Not good in the way we often use that word, as a mild compliment, a neutral description, but good in the deepest, richest, most complete sense. Good in His character, good in His intentions, good in His heart toward you. Even when life is hard, even when the circumstances are painful, even when the road is long and the night is dark, God Himself is good. His goodness does not depend on our comfort. His goodness is intrinsic to who He is. It flows from His nature like light flows from the sun. Taste and see. Draw near enough to experience it. Not once, but again and again. Every day, every moment, every breath. And when you do, you will be blessed. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in Him. To take refuge is to run to safety, to hide, to seek shelter. It is what a bird does when the storm comes, flying to the cleft in the rock, tucking itself away where the wind cannot reach. It is what a child does when they are afraid, running into the arms of a parent, pressing their face against a steady chest. God is our refuge, not a distant deity observing from afar, not an impersonal force, but a refuge, a shelter, a safe place, a home. When your heart feels heavy, when the weight is too much, when the storm is too fierce, you can run to Him. You can hide in Him. You can let Him be there, where the walls around you, the roof over you, the ground beneath you. And there, in that place of refuge, you are blessed. Not because the storm stops, but because you are not alone in it. Not because the weight disappears, but because it is shared. Not because the road becomes easy, but because you have a companion who will never leave. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in Him. Let that be you tonight. Let Him be your refuge. Run to Him, hide in Him, rest in Him. He will not turn you away. David continues, still in that tender teaching tone. O fear the Lord, you His saints, for those who fear Him have no lack. Fear the Lord, you His saints. There is that word again. Fear. But remember, this is not terror. This is not cowering. This is reverence, awe, holy respect. It is the posture of a heart that knows who God is and responds with wonder. The saints, the holy ones, not perfect ones, not flawless ones, but those who have been set apart, those who belong to God, those who are called by His name. If you have placed your trust in Jesus, if you have received His grace, if you have said yes to His love, you are a saint. You are holy, not because of what you have done, but because of what He has done. You are set apart, marked, claimed, beloved. And David says to you, to the saints, fear the Lord. Live in awe of Him. Walk in reverence before Him. Let His holiness shape the way you see everything else. And when you do, when you live this way, you will have no lack. No lack. Not because you will have everything you want. Not because life will be easy. Not because you will be wealthy or comfortable or free from pain. But because God Himself will be enough. When you fear the Lord, when you reverence Him, when you orient your life around Him, you discover that He is the only thing you truly need. Everything else is secondary. Everything else is addition. But He is the essential thing, the core thing, the one thing that satisfies. The young lions suffer want and hunger, David will say in the next verse. But those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. Even the strong, the fierce, the capable, they can go hungry. They can find themselves in want. But those who seek the Lord, those who fear Him, those who run to Him as their refuge, they lack nothing, because they have Him, and He is enough. Breathe that in for a moment. You lack nothing, not because you have everything, but because you have Him, and He is the good thing your soul has been longing for all along. Now David shifts again. He becomes even more personal, more direct. He speaks as a teacher, as a father, as one who has walked the road and wants to show others the way. Come, O children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Come. It is an invitation, not a command. It is gentle, not forceful. Come, draw near, gather close. O children, we are all children before God. No matter how old we are, no matter how much we have experienced, no matter how much we think we know, we are children. And that is not a bad thing. It is a beautiful thing. Children are dependent. Children are humble. Children know they do not have all the answers. Children are willing to learn, willing to listen, willing to be taught. David says, "Listen to me, I will teach you." Not because he has it all figured out, not because he is perfect, but because he has learned something in the caves, in the wilderness, in the long nights of fear and running. He has learned the fear of the Lord, and he wants to pass it on. This is how faith is transmitted, not through lectures, not through cold instruction, but through relationship, through invitation, through one person saying to another, "Come, let me show you, let me teach you, let me walk with you." And what will he teach? The fear of the Lord, how to live in reverence, how to walk in awe, how to orient your life around the one who is worthy. This is the foundation of everything. This is the beginning of wisdom. This is the soil in which all other virtues grow. If you learn nothing else, learn this. Fear the Lord. Reverence Him, honor Him. Let Him be the center, the foundation, the starting point of everything. And then David asks a question that cuts to the heart of what we all long for. What man is there who desires life and loves many days, that he may see good? Who desires life? Who wants to truly live, not just exist? Who wants to wake up in the morning with purpose, with hope, with a sense that this day matters? Who wants to feel alive, not just numb? Who wants to experience joy, not just avoid pain? Who loves many days? Who wants longevity, not just in years, but in quality? Who wants a life that is rich, full, meaningful? Who wants to look back and say, "It was good, it was worth it. I am glad I lived, that he may see good"? Who wants to experience goodness? Who wants to taste and see and know the beauty, the grace, the kindness, the love that life can hold? David is asking, do you want this? Do you long for this? Of course you do. We all do. Every human heart longs for life, true life, abundant life, the kind of life that feels like more than just surviving, more than just getting through, the kind of life that feels like it has weight, substance, meaning. Jesus would later say, "I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." This is what we are made for. This is what we long for, even when we cannot name it. Life. Real, true, abundant life. And David is about to tell us how to find it. Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. The first instruction. It begins with words. What comes out of your mouth matters. What you speak has power. Power to build or destroy. Power to heal or wound. Power to create life or spread death. Keep your tongue from evil. Do not use your words to harm. Do not use your words to gossip, to slander, to tear down, to curse. Do not let your tongue be a weapon that wounds others. This is harder than it sounds. Our words can slip out so easily. A cutting remark, a sarcastic comment, a whispered critique, a harsh judgment. But David says, if you want life, if you want to see good, guard your tongue. Be careful with your words. Let them be instruments of grace, not instruments of harm. And your lips from speaking deceit. Do not lie, do not manipulate, do not twist the truth to serve yourself. Do not wear a mask, pretending to be something you are not. Speak truth, be honest, be real, even when it is hard, even when it costs you something. There is a kind of death that comes from deceit. It eats away at the soul from the inside. It creates distance in relationships. It builds walls. It breeds loneliness. But truth brings life. Truth builds trust. Truth creates connection. Truth sets you free. If you want to truly live, speak truth. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Turn away from evil. This is not passive. This is active. This is a choice, a decision, a turning. Evil is anything that opposes God, anything that harms others, anything that destroys rather than builds. And we are to turn away from it, to say no, to refuse it, to walk in a different direction. This requires vigilance. It requires awareness. It requires a willingness to see the patterns in our own lives that are destructive, that are harmful, that are pulling us away from life. And it requires courage, because sometimes turning away from evil means turning away from what is familiar, what is comfortable, what everyone else is doing. But if you want life, you must turn away from what brings death and do good, not just avoid evil, but actively pursue good. Seek it, create it, be a source of it. Do good to others. Be kind, be generous, be compassionate, be present, be helpful. Do good in your own heart. Cultivate virtue, nurture gratitude, practice patience, choose forgiveness, do good in the world, bring light to dark places, bring hope to despairing places, bring love to lonely places. Goodness is not passive. Goodness is active. It is a choice, made again and again, day after day. And then, seek peace and pursue it. Peace, shalom, wholeness, harmony, the absence of strife, but also the presence of rightness. When everything is as it should be, when relationships are healthy, when the heart is at rest, when there is no war, either external or internal. Seek it, look for it, long for it, desire it, and pursue it. Chase it, go after it. Do not wait for it to come to you. Actively work toward it. This means being a peacemaker. It means being willing to reconcile. It means being willing to forgive. It means being willing to lay down your need to be right, your need to win, your need to have the last word. It means choosing peace over conflict, harmony over discord, unity over division. This is how you find life. Not by getting everything you want, not by winning every argument, not by proving yourself right, but by walking in integrity, speaking truth, turning from evil, doing good, and pursuing peace. This is the path to life. And here is the promise, the assurance, the reason why this way leads to life. The eyes of the Lord are toward the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The eyes of the Lord are toward the righteous. God is looking, God is watching, not in a cold, distant way, not in a judgmental, critical way, but in a loving, attentive way. His eyes are toward you. He sees you. He knows you. He is aware of you. Every moment, every breath, every thought, every struggle. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. The righteous, those who walk in his ways, those who fear him, those who seek him, those who are trying, however imperfectly, to live in alignment with his heart. That is you. If you have placed your trust in Jesus, you are righteous. Not because you are perfect, not because you never fail, but because his righteousness has been given to you. You are clothed in it, you stand in it, and God's eyes are toward you, and his ears are open to your cry. He is listening, he is attentive, he is ready to hear. When you cry out, he does not ignore you, he does not dismiss you, he does not turn away. He leans in, he listens, he responds. Your prayers are not lost in the void. Your tears are not unseen. Your pain is not unnoticed. God hears you. Every word, every groan, every whispered plea in the dark. He hears and he cares. But there is also this. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to cut off the memory of them from the earth. This is a hard verse, a sobering verse, but it is true. God is not neutral. He does not stand by passively while evil runs rampant. He does not ignore injustice, cruelty, oppression, harm. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, not against those who fail, not against those who struggle, not against those who fall and get back up again, but against those who persist in evil, those who choose harm, those who refuse to turn, those who love darkness more than light. God opposes them. He stands against them. He will not allow their evil to have the final word. This is a comfort, actually, because it means that evil does not win. It means that justice will be done. It means that the wicked will not prosper forever, that the oppressor will not reign unchallenged, that those who harm will not go unpunished. God sees, and God will act. But for you, beloved, you who are seeking him, you who are turning toward him, you who are crying out to him, his face is not against you. His face is toward you. His eyes are on you. His ears are open to you. You are safe in his love. When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. When the righteous cry, not if, when. David assumes that the righteous will have troubles, that they will need help, that they will cry out. This is not a faith that pretends everything is fine. This is not a faith that denies pain. This is a faith that acknowledges reality and trusts God in the midst of it. The righteous have troubles. They face difficulties. They walk through hard seasons. They know sorrow, fear, pain, loss. But when they cry out, the Lord hears, and he delivers them out of all their troubles. Not from all their troubles necessarily, not by preventing every hardship, but out of them, through them, to the other side of them. He does not always remove the trouble immediately, but he walks with you through it. He holds you in it. He sustains you in it. And eventually, in his timing, in his way, he brings you out. You will not be stuck in this place forever. You will not be trapped in this pain forever. You will not carry this heaviness forever. God will deliver you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but He will. Trust Him. And now we come to one of the most tender, most beautiful verses in all of Scripture. The Lord is near to the broken-hearted and saves the crushed in spirit. The Lord is near, not far, not distant, not absent, not uncaring, near, right here, right now, closer than your breath, closer than your heartbeat, to the broken-hearted, those whose hearts have been shattered, those who have loved and lost, those who have hoped and been disappointed, those who have trusted and been betrayed, those who have tried and failed. If your heart is broken tonight, if it has been cracked open by grief, by loss, by pain, by disappointment, God is near to you. He does not avoid the broken-hearted. He does not recoil from pain. He does not wait for you to get it together before He comes close. He is near, right now, right here, and He saves the crushed in spirit, those who have been beaten down by life, those who feel like they cannot go on, those whose spirit has been flattened by the weight of it all, those who have no strength left, no hope left, no fight left. God saves them, not by making everything easy, not by fixing everything immediately, but by being present, by holding them, by breathing life back into their weary souls. If you are crushed tonight, if your spirit feels like it has been ground into dust, God is here, and He will save you. He will not let you be destroyed. He will not let you disappear. He will not let you be lost. He will gather up the pieces. He will breathe life into the dust. He will speak hope into the despair. You will rise again. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you will, because God is near to the broken-hearted, and He saves the crushed in spirit. Let that truth wash over you like water. You are not alone in your brokenness. You are not abandoned in your pain. You are not forgotten in your sorrow. God is near, He is here, and He will save you. David continues, and his words now carry both weight and wonder. He speaks of what it means to walk with God through suffering, and his tone is honest, unflinching, yet somehow still full of hope. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. Let that settle for a moment. Many, not few, not rare, not occasional, many. David does not sugarcoat the reality of life in a broken world. He does not promise ease. He does not offer a faith that exempts you from suffering. If you follow God, if you love Him, if you walk in His ways, you will still face afflictions. You will still know pain. You will still walk through valleys. You will still carry burdens. This is not a failure of faith. This is not evidence that God has abandoned you. This is simply the reality of living in a world that is not yet fully redeemed. The righteous suffer. They get sick. They lose loved ones. They face betrayal. They experience disappointment. They know heartbreak. They walk through seasons of darkness. Many are the afflictions. And if you are in one of those seasons now, if you are carrying one of those afflictions, if you are walking through one of those valleys, you are not alone. You are not unusual. You are not being punished. You are simply human, living in a world that is groaning, waiting, longing for the day when all things will be made new. But here is the promise, the hope, the light in the darkness. The Lord delivers him out of them all. Out of them all. Not some, not most, all. Every affliction you face, God will bring you through. Not around, not over, but through. He will walk with you into the dark place, and He will walk with you out of it. You will not be lost in this. You will not be swallowed by it. You will not be destroyed by it. God will deliver you, not always in the way you expect, not always in the timing you would choose, but He will. He is faithful. He has always been faithful, and He will be faithful to you. He keeps all His bones. Not one of them is broken. This is a strange, specific detail, and yet it is deeply meaningful. David is saying that God protects, God preserves, God guards what is His. Not one bone is broken. This is not a promise of physical invincibility. David himself faced physical danger, injury, battle. He knew pain. He knew weakness. But there is a deeper meaning here, a prophetic meaning. Centuries after David wrote these words, on a hill outside Jerusalem, a man hung on a cross. His name was Jesus. He was the Son of God, the Lamb of God, the one who came to take away the sin of the world. And when He died, when His body hung lifeless on that wood, the soldiers came to break His legs to hasten His death, as was their custom. But when they came to Jesus, they saw that He was already dead, and so they did not break His legs. Not one of His bones was broken. The scripture was fulfilled. The words David wrote in Psalm 34 found their ultimate meaning in Jesus. God keeps all His bones. Not one of them is broken. God protects His beloved. He guards what is precious to Him. And when Jesus became the ultimate righteous one, the perfect sacrifice, the blameless lamb, God preserved Him even in death. And 3 days later, God raised Him. The afflictions were many. The suffering was real. The cross was brutal. But God delivered Him out of it all. And because Jesus was delivered, because He rose, because He conquered death, we too will be delivered. The afflictions are many. The road is hard. The cross we carry is heavy. But God will bring us through. Not one bone will be ultimately, finally, eternally broken. We will be whole. We will be healed. We will be restored. Affliction will slay the wicked, and those who hate the righteous will be condemned. This is the other side of the coin, the hard truth, the sober reality. There are those who choose evil, who persist in wickedness, who hate what is good and love what is harmful, who oppress the innocent and delight in cruelty, and they will not escape. Their affliction will slay them. Their own evil will become their undoing. The destruction they tried to bring on others will fall on their own heads. God is just. God is righteous. God will not let evil have the final word. Those who hate the righteous will be condemned, not by us, not by our vengeance, not by our anger, but by God, by His justice, by His holiness. And this is a comfort, because it means we do not have to fight that battle. We do not have to seek revenge. We do not have to make sure the wicked get what they deserve. We can trust God to do that. We can leave justice in His hands. We can choose mercy, forgiveness, and love, knowing that God will set all things right in the end. Vengeance is His. He will repay, and we can rest in that. And now we come to the final verse of this psalm, the culminating promise, the beautiful benediction. The Lord redeems the life of His servants. None of those who take refuge in Him will be condemned. The Lord redeems. Redemption is one of the most beautiful words in all of Scripture. It means to buy back, to rescue, to restore, to take something broken, something lost, something damaged, and make it whole again. The Lord redeems the life of His servants, not just their souls in some distant heaven, but their lives, here, now, the actual fabric of their existence. He takes the broken pieces and makes something beautiful. He takes the wasted years and brings restoration. He takes the shame and replaces it with honor. He takes the sorrow and turns it into joy. This is what God does. This is who he always says. He is the Redeemer. And if you are his servant, if you belong to him, if you have given your life to him, he will redeem you. He is already redeeming you. Every moment, every breath, every step. He is at work, weaving your story into something good, something whole, something beautiful. You cannot see it yet. You cannot see the full picture. But he is working. He is redeeming. He is making all things new. None of those who take refuge in him will be condemned. None. Not one. If you have run to God, if you have hidden in him, if you have taken refuge in his love, in his grace, in his mercy, you will not be condemned. Not by him, not ultimately, not eternally. You are safe. You are secure. You are held. There is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. The guilt is gone. The shame is gone. The punishment has been paid. The debt has been cancelled. You are free. You are loved. You are his. And nothing can separate you from that love. Let us rest here for a moment. Let the words of this psalm sink deep into the soil of your heart. You have heard the promises. You have heard the invitations. You have heard the truth. God is near to the brokenhearted. He hears when you cry. He delivers you out of all your troubles. He redeems your life, and he will never, ever condemn you. These are not empty words. These are not wishful thinking. These are the promises of the God who cannot lie, who does not change, who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is who he says he is, and he will do what he says he will do. Trust him. Even when your heart is heavy, even when the road is long, even when you cannot see the way forward, trust him. He is good, he is faithful, and he will never leave you. Now let us turn our attention to the broader landscape of this psalm. Let us consider what it means to live in the reality David describes. What does it look like day by day, moment by moment, to walk as one whose heart is heavy, but whose hope is in God? There is a kind of faith that is easy when life is easy, when the sun is shining, when the path is clear, when the blessings are abundant. It is not hard to believe. It is not hard to trust. It is not hard to praise. But David is not writing from a place of ease. He is writing from a place of fear, of danger, of uncertainty. He is writing from a cave, from a hiding place, from a moment when everything felt precarious, and yet he praises. This is the faith that matters. This is the faith that endures. This is the faith that reveals what we truly believe about God. Do we believe he is good only when life is good? Do we trust him only when we can see the outcome? Do we praise him only when we feel like it? Or do we believe, deep in the core of our being, that God is who he says he is, regardless of our circumstances? This is the question Psalm 34 asks us. This is the invitation it extends. To bless the Lord at all times. Not just sometimes. Not just the good times. All times. There is a story in the book of Job. Perhaps you know it. Job was a man who had everything. Wealth, family, health, honor. He was blameless and upright. He feared God and turned away from evil. And then, in a single day, everything was taken from him. His children were killed. His wealth was destroyed. His health was ravaged. He sat in ashes, covered in sores, scraping his skin with broken pottery. His wife said to him, "Curse God and die." But Job said, "Shall we receive good from God, and shall we not receive trouble?" Job did not understand what was happening. He questioned. He lamented. He poured out his anguish before God. But he did not abandon his faith. He did not turn away. He did not curse God. He held on. Even when everything else was stripped away, he held on. And in the end, God restored him. Not because Job was perfect, not because Job never doubted, but because Job refused to let go. This is the kind of faith Psalm 34 calls us to. A faith that holds on in the dark. A faith that praises in the pain. A faith that trusts even when it cannot see. But let us be honest. Let us be real. This kind of faith is hard. It is easy to read the words. It is easy to agree with the theology. It is easy to say, yes, I believe God is good. But when you are in the cave, when you are in the ashes, when your heart is breaking and the tears will not stop, it is hard. It is so, so hard. And God knows that. He does not expect you to be strong all the time. He does not expect you to have it all together. He does not expect you to never doubt, never question, never struggle. He made you. He knows what you are made of. He remembers that you are dust, and he loves you anyway. He loves you in your weakness. He loves you in your doubt. He loves you in your struggle. You do not have to perform for him. You do not have to pretend. You do not have to be anything other than what you are. Broken, weary, heavy-hearted. Come as you are. That is what he wants. That is what he has always wanted. Not your strength, not your perfection. Just you, honest, real, vulnerable. Come. There is a moment in the Gospels that I often return to. It is brief, but it has stayed with me for years. Jesus is teaching, and a man comes to him. The man's son is possessed by a demon. The boy is suffering terribly. The father is desperate. He has brought the boy to Jesus' disciples, but they could not heal him. And so the father comes to Jesus himself. He says, "If you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us." And Jesus says, "If you can." All things are possible for one who believes. And the father cries out, "I believe, help my unbelief. I believe, help my unbelief." What a perfect, honest prayer. The father is not pretending. He is not claiming a faith he does not have. He is not putting on a show. He believes, and yet he struggles to believe. He trusts, and yet he doubts. He has faith, and yet he needs help. And Jesus does not rebuke him. Jesus does not scold him. Jesus does not tell him to come back when he has his faith in order. Jesus heals his son, because God does not require perfect faith. He requires honest faith. He does not need you to be strong. He needs you to be real. I believe. Help my unbelief. If that is where you are tonight, that is enough. That is more than enough. God will meet you there. So how do we live in this tension? How do we hold both the heaviness and the hope? How do we bless the Lord at all times when our hearts feel like they are breaking? We begin with honesty. We do not deny the pain. We do not pretend it is not there. We do not put on a brave face and soldier on as if everything is fine. We name it. We feel it. We let it be what it is. This is hard. This hurts. I am struggling. I am afraid. I do not understand. God can handle your honesty. He is not threatened by it. He is not offended by it. The Psalms are full of lament, full of questions, full of cries of anguish. Why, God? How long, God? Have you forgotten me? These are not rebuked. These are not censored. These are Scripture. Holy, inspired, God-breathed Scripture. God invites you to bring your pain to Him, to pour it out, to let it spill over in words, in tears, in groans too deep for words. He is listening. He is holding space for your sorrow. You do not have to clean it up first. You do not have to make it palatable. You do not have to make it sound spiritual. Just bring it. All of it. The raw, messy, broken parts. He will receive it. And then, after the honesty, comes the choice. Not to deny the pain, but to choose trust in the midst of it. This is what David does in Psalm 34. He does not pretend everything is fine. He acknowledges the fear, the danger, the desperation. He speaks of troubles, of afflictions, of broken hearts and crushed spirits. But in the midst of all that, he chooses to bless the Lord. He chooses to remember who God is. He chooses to proclaim God's goodness even when he cannot see it. He chooses to take refuge even when the storm is still raging. This is not denial. This is not pretending. This is defiance. It is a defiant trust, a stubborn hope, a refusal to let the darkness have the final word. Yes, it is hard. Yes, it hurts. Yes, I am afraid. But I will bless the Lord anyway. I will praise him anyway. I will trust him anyway, because he is who he says he is, and he will do what he says he will do. This kind of trust is not something we manufacture. It is not something we work up on our own. It is a gift, a grace, something God gives us when we ask. And so we pray, God, help me trust you. Help me believe. Help me hold on. And he does. Not all at once, not in a single moment, but day by day, step by step, breath by breath. He gives us what we need. Enough strength for today, enough grace for this moment, enough light for the next step. We do not need to see the whole path. We do not need to understand the whole plan. We just need enough light for the next step. And God gives us that every time. There is an ancient practice in the Christian tradition called Lectio Divina. It means divine reading. It is a way of meditating on Scripture, of letting the words sink deep, of allowing God to speak through them. The practice involves 4 movements: read, meditate, pray, contemplate. First, you read the passage slowly, attentively, listening for a word or phrase that stands out to you. Then you meditate on it. You turn it over in your mind. You let it unfold. You consider what it means, what it reveals about God, what it says to your heart. Then you pray. You respond to what you have heard. You talk to God about it. You ask questions. You express gratitude. You seek understanding. And finally, you contemplate. You rest in God's presence. You let the words settle into silence. You simply be with him. This is a beautiful way to engage with Psalm 34. Read it slowly. Let the words wash over you. Listen for what stands out. Maybe it is, the Lord is near to the brokenhearted. Meditate on that. Turn it over. What does it mean that he is near? Not distant, not absent. Near, right here, right now. Pray. Talk to God about your broken heart. Tell him where it hurts. Ask him to help you feel his nearness. And then contemplate. Rest in the silence. Let his presence be enough. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to fix anything. You just need to be with him. This is the rhythm of faith in the valley. Honesty, trust, prayer, rest. Honesty about the pain. Trust in the midst of it. Prayer that connects us to God. Rest in his presence. It is not a linear process. It is not a formula. It is a dance, a rhythm, a way of moving through the hard seasons without being destroyed by them. And God is with you in it. Every step, every breath, every tear. He is near to the brokenhearted. He is here for you. When you taste something, you cannot remain distant from it. You cannot observe it from afar. You must draw near. You must open yourself to it. You must allow it to touch your tongue, to spread across your palate, to be taken into your body. This is what God is inviting you to do. Not to think about him from a distance, not to study him as an object of curiosity, but to come close, to draw near, to experience him for yourself. And when you do, you will see that he is good. Not because someone told you, not because you read it in a book, but because you have tasted it yourself. You have experienced it. You know it in your bones, in your blood, in the deepest part of who you are. But how do we taste? How do we experience God's goodness, especially when life feels anything but good? I think it begins with attention. We live in a world that demands our attention constantly. Screens, notifications, noise, urgency. Everything is loud. Everything is fast. Everything is competing for our focus. And in all that noise, it is easy to miss God. Not because he is not there, but because we are not paying attention. God's goodness is often quiet. It is subtle. It comes in the small moments, the ordinary graces, the little gifts we almost overlook. A breath of fresh air, a moment of unexpected peace, a kind word from a stranger, the warmth of the sun on your face, the sound of rain on the roof, the feeling of being held when you are crying. These are tastes of God's goodness. But if we are not paying attention, if we are rushing through life, if we are consumed by worry or distraction or busyness, we will miss them. We must slow down. We must pay attention. We must open our eyes to see where God is moving, where he is present, where he is revealing himself. There is a story in the book of 1 Kings about the prophet Elijah. He had just come through a season of incredible victory. He had confronted the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel. He had called down fire from heaven. He had seen God move in powerful, dramatic ways. But then Jezebel, the queen, threatened his life, and Elijah ran. He fled into the wilderness. He sat under a tree and prayed to die. He said, "It is enough. Now, O Lord, take away my life." He was exhausted. He was afraid. He was done. But God sent an angel to give him food and water. And Elijah ate and drank and slept. And then he ate and drank again. And then, strengthened by that food, he walked for 40 days and 40 nights to the mountain of God. And there, in a cave, God spoke to him. God said, "Go out and stand on the mountain before the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by." And Elijah went out. And there was a great wind, so strong it was splitting mountains and breaking rocks in pieces. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, there was an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, there was fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a sound of sheer silence, a gentle whisper, a still, small voice. And when Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in his cloak and went out and stood at the entrance of the cave. God was in the silence, not in the wind, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, in the silence. We expect God to show up in big ways. We expect the dramatic, the loud, the obvious. We expect the wind, the earthquake, the fire. And sometimes God does show up that way. Sometimes he moves in power, in miracles, in ways that cannot be missed. But more often, he is in the silence, in the quiet moment, in the gentle whisper, in the subtle grace, in the ordinary gift. And if we are not paying attention, if we are not still, if we are not listening, we will miss him. Taste and see that the Lord is good. This requires stillness. This requires attention. This requires a willingness to be present, to be quiet, to listen for the still, small voice. So let us practice that now. Let us slow down. Let us be still. Let us pay attention. Breathe in deeply and breathe out slowly. Feel the air filling your lungs. Feel your chest rising and falling. Notice the rhythm of your breath, the simple miracle of oxygen entering your body, sustaining your life moment by moment. This is a gift. This breath, this life, this moment. You are alive, right now, in this moment. You are here. You are breathing. You are held in existence by the God who spoke the universe into being. That is grace. Notice the surface beneath you, the chair, the bed, the floor. Notice how it holds you, how it supports your weight, how it keeps you from falling. This is a picture of God's faithfulness. He holds you. He supports you. He keeps you from falling. You are not floating in the void. You are not cast adrift. You are held, always held. Notice the sounds around you. Maybe silence, maybe the hum of a fan, maybe distant traffic, maybe rain, maybe wind. Whatever it is, notice it, receive it, let it be what it is. God is in the sounds. He is in the silence. He is in the ordinary soundtrack of your life. And notice your heart. Not just the physical organ pumping blood through your body, though that too is a miracle, but your emotional heart, the center of who you are. What are you feeling right now? Sadness, weariness, peace, confusion, fear, hope. Whatever it is, let it be. Do not push it away. Do not judge it. Do not try to fix it. Just notice it. Acknowledge it. Let it be held in the presence of God. He sees it. He knows it. He is not afraid of it. And He is with you in it. This is how we taste. This is how we see. This is how we experience God's goodness. Not by escaping our reality, not by pretending everything's is fine, but by being present to what is, and noticing that even here, even now, even in the heaviness, God is present. His goodness is not dependent on our circumstances. His goodness is intrinsic to who He is. And when we slow down enough to pay attention, we begin to see it. We begin to taste it. We begin to know it for ourselves. There is another story I want to tell you. It is from the book of Exodus. The Israelites had just been delivered from slavery in Egypt. God had parted the Red Sea. He had drowned Pharaoh's army. He had brought His people out with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. And then they were in the wilderness, and they were hungry, and they began to grumble. They began to complain. They said, "If only we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots and ate our fill of bread. For you have brought us out into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger." They had forgotten the slavery. They had forgotten the oppression. They had forgotten the miracle of their deliverance. All they could see was the hunger. All they could feel was the lack. All they could think about was their need. And God, in His compassion, said to Moses, "I am going to rain bread from heaven for you, and each day the people shall go out and gather enough for that day." Bread from heaven, manna, enough for each day, not enough for a week, not enough for a month, not enough to store up, to hoard, to guarantee the future, just enough for today. This is how God often works. He gives us what we need for today, enough for this moment, enough for this step, enough for this breath. Not the whole plan, not the final answer, not the resolution to every problem. Just enough. Enough strength for today, enough grace for this moment, enough light for the next step. And we are invited to trust that tomorrow, when tomorrow comes, there will be enough again. This is hard for us. We want security. We want certainty. We want to know how everything will turn out. We want to see the whole map, the entire journey, the final destination. But God says, trust me for today. Trust me for this moment. Trust me for this step. Tomorrow will have its own bread. Tomorrow will have its own grace. Tomorrow will have its own provision. But today I am giving you what you need for today. Receive it. Trust it. Let it be enough. This is what it means to taste and see that the Lord is good. It means learning to receive the daily bread, the ordinary grace, the small gifts, the quiet mercies. It means learning to notice what God is giving, even when He is not giving everything we want. It means learning to say, this is enough. You are enough. Your presence is enough. Even when the heart is heavy, even when the road is long, even when we do not understand. You are enough, God. David writes, "Oh, fear the Lord, you His saints, for those who fear Him have no lack." Those who fear Him have no lack. This does not mean they have everything. This does not mean life is easy. This does not mean all their needs are met in the way they expect. But it means they have no lack of what truly matters. They have God, and God is enough. When you have God, you have everything you need, not everything you want, not everything you wish for, but everything you need, because He is the source of life. He is the fountain of joy. He is the wellspring of peace. He is the anchor of hope. And when you have Him, you lack nothing. Not because your circumstances are perfect, but because He is present. And His presence is the thing your soul has been longing for all along. Think about the things you believe you lack, the things that feel missing from your life, the holes, the gaps, the empty spaces. Maybe it is a relationship. Maybe it is health. Maybe it is financial security. Maybe it is clarity about the future. Maybe it is peace in your mind. Maybe it is healing from the past. These are real needs. These are legitimate longings. God does not dismiss them. He does not minimize them. But He invites you to consider this. What if the deepest lack is not the absence of these things, but the feeling of absence from Him? What if what your soul is truly longing for is not a change in circumstances, but a deeper experience of His presence? What if the ache you feel is not primarily about what is missing from your life, but about a disconnection from the One who made you, who knows you, who loves you? This is not to say that your other needs do not matter. They do. God cares about your relationships, your health, your security, your peace. He cares about all of it. But He also knows that the deepest need, the foundational need, the one that everything else flows from, is the need for Him. And when you have Him, when you are connected to Him, when you are abiding in His presence, you discover that you have everything you need. Not everything you want, but everything you need, because He is enough. Jesus said it this way, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger, and whoever believes in me shall never thirst. I am the bread of life. Not I will give you the bread of life. Not I will show you where to find it. But I am the bread. Jesus Himself is the nourishment your soul needs. Jesus Himself is the sustenance that will satisfy. Jesus Himself is the food that will fill the deepest hunger. And He invites you to come, to eat, to drink, to be filled. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger, not will never feel physical hunger, not will never experience need, but will not hunger in the deepest sense, will not be left empty, will not be left unsatisfied, because He is enough. He is the bread, He is the water, He is the life. And when you have Him, you lack nothing. So how do we come? How do we receive this bread? How do we drink this water? We come honestly. We come humbly. We come with our need. We do not pretend we are full when we are empty. We do not pretend we are strong when we are weak. We do not pretend we are satisfied when we are hungry. We come as we are, hungry, thirsty, needy, empty. And we say, Jesus, I need you. I cannot do this on my own. I cannot fill myself. I cannot satisfy my own soul. I need you to be my bread. I need you to be my water. I need you to be my life. Feed me, fill me, sustain me. And he does. Not always in the way we expect, not always in the timing we would choose, but he does. He gives us himself, and himself is enough. Let us return to Psalm 34 for a moment. Let us read again these words, slowly, prayerfully, letting them sink deep. The eyes of the Lord are toward the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to cut off the memory of them from the earth. When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Read those words again. Hear them again. Let them speak to your heart. The eyes of the Lord are toward you. He is looking at you. Right now, not with judgment, not with disappointment, not with condemnation, but with love, with tenderness, with compassion. He sees you, all of you, the parts you show the world and the parts you hide, the strengths and the weaknesses, the successes and the failures, the light and the darkness. He sees it all, and he loves you. His ears are open to your cry. He is listening, right now. Even if you have not spoken a word, even if your prayer is just a groan, a sigh, a tears falling in the dark, he hears. He is near to you, not far, not distant, not absent, near, closer than your breath, closer than your heartbeat, closer than your next thought. He is here, and he will save you, not from every difficulty, not from every pain, but he will save you. He will deliver you. He will bring you through. You will not be lost. You will not be destroyed. You will not be abandoned. He is with you, and he will never leave. There is a beautiful hymn written centuries ago that captures this truth. The words are simple, but they are profound. Be still, my soul. The Lord is on thy side. Bear patiently the cross of grief or pain. Leave to thy God to order and provide. In every change he faithful will remain. Be still, my soul. Not be strong, not be brave, not be confident, but be still. Stop striving, stop fighting, stop trying to control everything. Just be still. The Lord is on thy side. He is with you. He is for you. He is not against you, not condemning you, not abandoning you. He is on your side. Bear patiently the cross of grief or pain. The cross is real. The grief is real. The pain is real. You do not have to pretend otherwise, but bear it patiently, knowing that it is not forever, knowing that God is with you in it, knowing that he will bring you through. Leave to thy God to order and provide. You do not have to figure everything out. You do not have to have all the answers. You do not have to orchestrate your life perfectly. Leave it to God. Trust him to order your steps. Trust him to provide what you need. Trust him to lead you where you need to go. In every change, he faithful will remain. Circumstances change, seasons change, people change, but God does not change. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is faithful. He is constant. He is reliable, and he will remain with you, for you, always. Be still, my soul. Let that be your prayer tonight. Let that be your posture. Let that be your rest. Be still and know that He is God. He is on your side. He is with you. He is faithful, and He will never leave. Now let us consider what it means to live as people who fear the Lord, not in terror, not in dread, but in reverence, in awe, in holy wonder. David says, "Come, O children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord." This is an invitation into a way of life, a way of seeing, a way of being in the world. To fear the Lord is to recognize that He is God and we are not. It is to acknowledge that He is infinite and we are finite. It is to see that He is holy and we are dependent. It is to know that He is creator and we are created. This is not a diminishing truth. This is not a truth that makes us small in a negative sense. This is a truth that locates us rightly in the universe. This is a truth that gives us our proper place. We are not the center. We are not the measure of all things. We are not the ones in control. God is. And when we live in the light of that reality, when we orient our lives around that truth, when we let that shape the way we see everything else, everything changes. To fear the Lord is to live with an awareness of His presence, not just on Sunday mornings, not just when we pray, not just in church or during devotions, but always, in every moment, in every place, in every circumstance. God is here. God is watching. God is present. God is aware. This is not a threat. This is not something to make us paranoid or self-conscious. This is a comfort. This is a grace. It means we are never alone. It means we are never unseen. It means we are never beyond the reach of His love, His care, His attention. The psalmist writes elsewhere, "Where shall I go from your spirit? Or where shall I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. There is nowhere you can go where God is not. There is no place you can hide where He cannot find you. There is no darkness deep enough to obscure you from His sight." And this is not a threat. This is hope. This is comfort. This is grace. Because it means you are never alone. You are never abandoned. You are never forgotten. God is there. God is here. God is always near. To fear the Lord is also to live with an awareness of His holiness. God is not like us. He is not a bigger, stronger version of ourselves. He is wholly other. He is transcendent. He is pure. He is without flaw, without shadow, without any trace of darkness or deceit. He is holy. And when we encounter His holiness, when we stand in the presence of His purity, we become acutely aware of our own unholiness, our own impurity, our own brokenness. This is what happened to Isaiah. He was a prophet, a righteous man, a faithful servant of God. And then he had a vision of the Lord, high and lifted up, seated on a throne, surrounded by seraphim crying out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of His glory." And Isaiah's response was, "Woe is me, for I am lost, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts." In the presence of God's holiness, Isaiah saw his own sin, not in a vague, abstract way, but in a visceral, undeniable way. He saw himself as he truly was, unclean, broken, unworthy, and he cried out in despair. But then one of the seraphim flew to him, carrying a burning coal from the altar. And the seraphim touched Isaiah's lips with the coal and said, "Behold, this has touched your lips. Your guilt is taken away, and your sin atoned for." This is the pattern of encountering God's holiness. First, we see ourselves as we truly are. We see our sin. We see our brokenness. We see our need. And it is painful. It is humbling. It is devastating in a sense. But then, grace comes. God does not leave us in our sin. He does not abandon us in our brokenness. He does not turn away in disgust. He reaches out. He touches us. He cleanses us. He atones for us. Your guilt is taken away. Your sin is atoned for. This is the gospel. This is the good news. This is the heart of everything. We are sinners. We are broken. We are unclean. We deserve judgment. But God, in His mercy, in His grace, in His unfathomable love, has made a way. He sent His Son, Jesus, the Holy One, the sinless one, the pure one. And Jesus took our sin upon Himself. He bore our guilt. He carried our shame. He died the death we deserved. And then He rose, victorious over sin, victorious over death, victorious over everything that could separate us from God. And now, because of Him, we are clean. We are forgiven. We are made righteous, not because of what we have done, but because of what He has done. To fear the Lord, then, is to live in the light of this reality. To remember that we are sinners saved by grace. To remember that we are broken people who have been made whole. To remember that we are unworthy recipients of a love we could never earn. And this reality should produce two things in us. First, humility. We have nothing to boast about. We have nothing to be proud of. We did not save ourselves. We did not earn this. We did not deserve this. It is all grace. Every bit of it, from beginning to end. Grace. And so we walk humbly. We speak gently. We treat others with compassion, knowing that we are no better, no more deserving, no more righteous in ourselves. We are all beggars, someone once said, showing other beggars where to find bread. We are all broken people, pointing each other toward the one who heals. And second, gratitude. If we have been forgiven much, we should love much. If we have been shown mercy, we should be merciful. If we have been given grace, we should extend grace. Gratitude should flow from us like water from a spring. Not manufactured, not forced, but natural, organic, inevitable. Because when you truly understand what has been done for you, when you truly grasp the depth of the love that has been shown to you, when you truly comprehend the magnitude of the grace that has been given to you, how can you not be grateful? How can you not worship? How can you not praise? How can you not say, with David, "I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth." To fear the Lord is to live in humility and gratitude. It is to walk through the world knowing that you are deeply loved, completely forgiven, and utterly dependent on the grace of God. And when you live this way, when you walk in this awareness, when you let this truth shape your days, it changes everything. You become slower to anger because you remember how patient God has been with you. You become quicker to forgive because you remember how much you have been forgiven. You become more compassionate because you remember your own brokenness. You become more generous because you remember how much you have been given. You become more peaceful because you remember that God is in control and you are not. You become more joyful because you remember that your hope does not rest on circumstances, but on the unchanging character of God. This is what it means to fear the Lord, not to cower in terror, but to live in awe, in reverence, in holy wonder at the God who is both infinitely holy and infinitely loving. David continues his teaching. He asks that beautiful question: what man is there who desires life and loves many days, that he may see good, who wants to truly live, not just survive, not just get through, not just endure, but truly live, fully live, richly live? Who wants that? Every one of us, every human heart. We were made for life. We were made for flourishing. We were made for goodness, for beauty, for joy. This is not selfish. This is not wrong. This is the way God designed us. He did not create us to be miserable. He did not create us to merely survive. He created us to thrive, to flourish, to experience the fullness of life in relationship with Him. And so, when David asks this question, he is not rebuking our desire for life. He is affirming it. He is saying, yes, you were made for this. You were made to live. You were made to see good. And then he tells us how. Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. These are practical instructions. These are concrete steps. These are not vague spiritual principles, but actual ways to live. Keep your tongue from evil. Pay attention to what you say. Be mindful of your words. Let them be instruments of life, not death. Do not gossip. Do not slander. Do not speak words that tear down, that destroy, that wound. Instead, speak words that build up, that encourage, that bless, that bring life. This is harder than it sounds. Our tongues are powerful, and they are difficult to control. James writes that the tongue is a small member, yet it boasts of great things: a fire, a world of unrighteousness. It sets on fire the entire course of life, and is itself set on fire by hell. No human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. We cannot tame our tongues on our own. We need God's help. We need His Spirit to guard our mouths, to guide our words, to shape what we say. And so we pray, set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. We ask God to help us speak life, to help us speak truth, to help us speak words that reflect His love, His grace, His kindness, and your lips from speaking deceit. Speak truth. Be honest. Be real. Do not lie. Do not manipulate. Do not twist words to serve your own ends. This is not easy in a world that rewards deceit, that celebrates spin, that prizes appearances over reality. But God calls us to a different way, a way of integrity, a way of honesty, a way of truth, even when it costs us, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it would be easier to lie. Speak truth. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Live in such a way that people know they can trust your word, that when you speak, they know you mean it, that there is no gap between what you say and what you do. This is integrity. This is wholeness. This is living in alignment with who God has called you to be. Turn away from evil and do good. This is active. This is intentional. This is a choice you make again and again, every day. Evil is all around us. Temptation is real. The pull towards sin is strong, and we must choose to turn away, to say no, to walk in a different direction. This is not legalism. This is not trying to earn God's love through good behavior. This is living out of the love we have already received. This is responding to grace with obedience. This is walking in the light because we have been brought out of darkness. Turn away from evil. And not just turn away, but do good. Be proactive. Be intentional. Look for ways to bless others, to serve others, to love others. Do good to your neighbor. Do good to the stranger. Do good to the one who has wronged you. Let your life be marked by goodness, by kindness, by generosity, by love. This is how you find life. This is how you see good. This is the way to flourishing. Seek peace and pursue it. Peace, shalom, wholeness, harmony, rightness, the way things are supposed to be. Seek it, look for it, long for it, desire it, and pursue it. Go after it. Work toward it. Do not wait for it to come to you. Chase it. Strive for it. Make it happen. This means being a peacemaker. It means being willing to reconcile. It means being willing to forgive. It means being willing to let go of offenses, to release bitterness, to choose love over resentment. Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God." Peacemakers, not peacekeepers. Not people who avoid conflict at all costs, but people who actively work to bring peace, to create harmony, to restore relationships. This is costly. This requires humility. This requires courage. This requires a willingness to be vulnerable, to initiate, to take the first step. But this is the way to life. This is the way to see good. Seek peace and pursue it. When you live this way, when you walk in integrity, when you speak truth, when you turn from evil, when you do good, when you seek peace, you will find life. Not a life free from trouble. David has already told us that many are the afflictions of the righteous, but a life that is rich, a life that is meaningful, a life that is full, a life that is truly life. Because you will be living in alignment with the way God designed you to live. You will be living in harmony with His heart. You will be living as a human being was meant to live. And in that, there is deep, abiding, unshakable joy. Not happiness that depends on circumstances, but joy that wells up from the depths of your soul, from the knowledge that you are walking with God, that you are loved by God, that you are held by God. This is life. This is the good that David speaks of. This is what we were made for. And here is the promise again. The eyes of the Lord are toward the righteous, and His ears are open to their cry. When you walk in this way, when you live in the fear of the Lord, when you keep your tongue from evil and your lips from deceit, when you turn from evil and do good, when you seek peace and pursue it, God sees you. His eyes are toward you, not in judgment, not in scrutiny, but in love, in delight, in approval. He is watching over you. He is guarding you. He is guiding you. And His ears are open to your cry. When you call, He hears. When you pray, He listens. When you cry out in the night, He is there. You're not alone. You're not forgotten. You're not abandoned. God is with you. God is for you. God is listening. Let us pause here again. Let the weight of these truths settle. God's eyes are toward you, right now, in this moment. He sees you. He knows you. He loves you. And His ears are open to your cry. Whatever you need to say, whatever you need to pour out, whatever you need to release, He is listening. You can speak. You can cry. You can groan. You can be silent. Whatever your prayer looks like right now, He receives it. He is here, and He will never leave. Let us turn again to the tenderness of Psalm 34. And with that tenderness, allow the Holy Spirit to press more gently into the places where you carry heavy things. There is a sense in which heaviness, when met by God, can become a doorway, a doorway not to despair, but to deeper trust, not to withdrawal, but to a more intimate, fearless leaning into the one who holds you. This is not a magic trick. It is a slow, patient apprenticeship in faith, a gradual learning to live within the paradox, sorrow and sweetness, burden and blessing, night and dawn walking side by side. So I invite you now to breathe with me once more. Inhale deeply, exhale softly. Let your body learn the rhythm of rest. The body often tells truth our minds forget. If your shoulders are tense, let them drop. If your chest feels tight, soften it with the next exhale. You are safe here. God is with you, and that assurance can carry you, even when the heart feels heavy beyond words. We have considered the great promises, near to the broken-hearted, delivering from troubles, guarding the lives of his servants. These are not only comforting ideas, they are invitations to a practice of trust that meets you in the quiet hours and in the loud hours too. There is no expiration date on God's patience with you. He is patient as the morning light, unhurried, steady, faithful. In the quiet, I hear the echo of a line from an old liturgy. We shall not fear, for thou art with us. The words sound almost shy, almost simple, and yet they carry the weight of eternity. If God is with us, what can truly harm us? Not in a way that negates pain, but in a way that transforms pain by the gentle power of his presence. Let us dwell here for a moment, in this companionship with God, in this friendship with truth. To dwell means to stay, to rest, to let the water of grace wash over the stones of uncertainty until their edges become smooth. If your heart has known jagged edges, worry, resentment, fear, let his presence soften them. Let him teach you how to bear what you must bear and how to release what you do not need to carry any longer. In this space, consider the practice of gratitude, not as a denial of sorrow, but as a counterbalance to it. Thankfulness does not erase the ache. It invites a larger view, a broader horizon. It is the way of the monk, who keeps a tiny lamp lit in the cell even when the winter winds howl outside. Gratitude is a small flame that refuses to be extinguished, because it is fed by grace, not by circumstance. We continue with a slower pace, a longer breath, a softer voice. Psalm 34 invites us to consider the character of God, good, faithful, merciful, present. If we can anchor ourselves in that truth, we find resilience that is not merely stubborn, but blessed. It is blessed resilience, a quiet fortitude that does not demand loud triumph, but offers gentle steadfastness. As we move deeper into this meditation, let us listen for a favorite refrain from the Psalms. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. Imagine that image, a fortress built of mercy, walls of steadfast love, a gate of grace that opens to those who come with open hands. When your heart is heavy, imagine walking through those gates, safe, known, protected, kept. We turn now to another thread in the tapestry of David's reflections, the idea of discernment, the ability to see what to pursue and what to release. To discern is to see with the keen eye of wisdom, who was with God in the beginning, who knows the depths of the heart, who is not swayed by fear or flattery. When we feel weighed down by choices, what to do, what to forgive, whom to trust, we pause, we breathe. We ask the Spirit to illuminate the way, not with cunning, but with clarity and peace. In this moment, you may be facing a particular decision that feels heavy, a relationship that needs healing, a risk to take, a boundary to set, a habit to lay down. Bring that to God now, in this gentle space. Tell him what you fear, what you hope, what you cannot decide. Listen for his quiet direction, perhaps not a voice in your ears, but a prevailing sense of peace or a fresh simplicity in your heart. He loves to guide his children with the ease of a shepherd leading sheep to quiet waters. We continue with more stories that illuminate the path. Consider the story of Ruth, who chose loyalty to Naomi when the way ahead looked uncertain and the future incomplete. Or consider Hannah, who poured out her soul before the Lord in prayer so fervent that the temple staff mistook her for a drunken woman. Yet God heard her and gave her a son. These are not mere anecdotes. They are living pictures of how heaviness can become the soil in which faith grows, how longing, when offered to God, is not ignored but answered in time. I invite you to turn your memory to a moment when you felt God's nearness in a quiet, ordinary way. The comfort of a friend's text in a season of loneliness. A sunset that didn't vanish into the night but lingered with you. The scent of rain on dry ground after a long drought. These are tastes of God's mercy, small but real, sustaining you as the day continues to unfold. We also learn from Jesus, who shared the deep ache of humanity while revealing the deep reservoir of divine compassion. He wept at Lazarus' tomb. He faced the cross with a courage that was not numb, and he prayed in anguish in the Garden of Gethsemane, saying, "Not my will, but yours be done." In his humanity, he models what it means to bring heavy hearts to the Father, to seek strength in weakness, to trust in the Father's perfect plan, even when the night seems long. So we come to a final image in this long meditation, the image of a lamp placed on a stand, a light not to impress, but to illuminate the way for weary feet. Psalm 34 invites us to become people who bear witness to God's goodness by the steadiness of our lives, by the gentleness of our words, by the healing we offer to those who cross our path, however casually. It invites us to live in such a way that even when our own burden remains, the presence of God makes that burden bearable, makes it meaningful, makes it a doorway to deeper trust. Now, as we near the latter portion of our time together, I invite you to offer a closing posture of surrender. Let your hands rest open on your lap or by your sides. Let your shoulders release their tension. Allow your jaw to unclench and your brow to smooth. If thoughts drift, do not chase them away with force. Let them pass like clouds and return gently to the horizon of God's presence. You are not required to perform any more today. You are asked to rest in Him, to trust Him, to be still with Him. We will close with a soft and intimate prayer, a blessing spoken over you, a nurture for your soul. It is the quiet, faithful breath of a shepherd speaking to his flock at dusk. May the God of all comfort, the Father who sees you in your loneliness and lifts your head with a grace you cannot earn, bless you with an unshakable peace that rests beneath your heartbeat. May He fortify your inner person with the strength that comes from a Spirit who renews, restores, and breathes new life into your worn, weathered edges. May He accompany you as you walk through your valleys, making the path before you glow with gentle light, not blinding brightness, but the kind of light that guides without burning, that warms without consuming. May you taste and see, again and again, that the Lord is good. May you learn to bless the Lord at all times, to seek refuge in Him, to fear Him with a love that is humble and grateful. May your soul rise to meet Him in the quiet, and may you carry the steady promise that He is near, that He saves, that He redeems, that He loves you with a love that never ends. Now, in this final moment of stillness, offer your own words to God if you wish. A word of thanks, a breath hold of faith, a small, honest cry. He receives it. He delights to hear you. He delights to meet you in your honesty, not in your pretenses. He welcomes the broken and the seeking with a tender grace that makes you brave enough to keep returning to Him, the source of all life. And as you gently prepare to return from this meditation, remember this simple truth. You are not alone. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted. He is with you in your sorrows, your fears, your questions. He is with you in your quiet rooms and in your crowded days. He is with you when you cannot see the end of the road and when you glimpse a small, almost enough light at the horizon. You will not be condemned. You will be redeemed. You will be held. You will be loved. Now, as you open your eyes to the room around you, carry this sense of gentle purpose with you. Let the blessing of this time linger, like the afterglow of a candle that burns softly in a dark room. Let the peace remain in your posture, in your breath, in your quiet confidence that God is with you. And go in peace. Go in the light of His faithful presence. Go with the sense that heavy hearts may yet be made light by grace, and that your life, even in its burden, can still reflect the goodness of God to a watching world. Amen.